Okay, this is about to be an extremely long live stream. We are kicking this off right now at 4 p.m. Eastern. We are going to be going until about 8:30. So we're going to go until kickoff today. And it's because, oh my gosh, today is what we've been waiting for. Y'all know I make a video every single day, off season or not. All I think about 24/7, 365 days a year is fantasy football, fantasy football, fantasy football. And while we can go through and we can look at news, change projections, reevaluate the previous seasons all throughout the offseason, and really try to have a base understanding of what we should expect this upcoming year, I mean, we are working on with a very limited data. Now, right now, this is when everything starts to change. I mean, we get new bullet points coming at us. We get to reevaluate our rankings. We get to go through, make those start-sit decisions. So we are going to continue to live stream every single day. I'm going to continue to make videos every day. Waiver wires, start, sit. I mean, pretty much anything that you could think of. So make sure you subscribe to the channel because it's going to be a fantastic season. Let's get this draft started. Y'all know exactly how we're going to do it. I'm going to send out the first link over there. Oh my God. Wait, what just happened? Gus Edwards did Gus Edwards just break his... Oh my gosh. We may have to be switching this up right now. We just got some breaking news right now that Gus Edwards... What is going on with Gus Edwards, guys? Oh my gosh. This is wild right now. Okay, I'm looking this up right now on Twitter. Let's look up Gus Edwards. Gus Edwards ACL tear. Okay, let's change the title of this live stream. Let's go through and let's look at the Baltimore Ravens before we get everything else going. Oh my gosh, guys, this is ridiculous right now. And they just signed Le'Veon, and I was out here saying that Le'Veon Bell was not someone that we needed to be looking at. So this actually may save me in some of these leagues. And I'm going to be completely honest. I did not have Gus Edwards in that many. I had J.K. Dobbins in a lot of leagues. But I guess it's Tyson Williams. I guess it's Le'Veon Bell. And we're going to go through and we're going to look at, I mean, who else can they go through and pick up? This is... Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just so caught off guard. Y'all are getting my initial reaction right now. We're going to get some drafts going after this, so do not worry whatsoever. We're going to get some drafts going, and we will be able to go through and look at exactly where you have Tyson Williams, exactly where you have Le'Veon Bell going in real money fantasy drafts, so you get a great idea what their value is going to be. We're going to get that going right after this. But let's look up Le'Veon Bell. Let's look at exactly what Le'Veon Bell did last year in Pittsburgh. I'm sorry, not in Pittsburgh, in Kansas City, of course, in Kansas City. Okay, so Le'Veon Bell, as of now, is 29 years old. Okay, so obviously with Le'Veon, 29 years old, you're not expecting him to come out here and do anything incredibly impressive. We go back to what he did last year in Kansas City. One thing that stands out to us is the fact that while, yes, he didn't necessarily have a massive workload running the ball, he did get a lot of usage in the receiving game. Like if we're looking at it, he had 13 receptions compared to only 63 rushing attempts. So it looks like Gus Edwards is 100% going to be the guy that you actually want in the receiving game here in Baltimore. But also we have to look at it and say, well, I mean, the receiving running back's not going to be that impactful, to be honest, because Lamar Jackson isn't necessarily going out there and blowing anybody away with what he's doing and just checking the ball down like you would have with a Drew Brees to an Alvin Kamara. So the passing down role in this offense isn't even that impactful. Like we pull up Tyson Williams, a big thing is it's kind of hard to find that much data on Tyson Williams because he was a prospect that was so under the radar coming out. If we're pulling him up, he had just the weirdest career ever in college. North Carolina, South Carolina, and then some tiny school that I've never heard of. And we're looking at it here and going, well, yes, he had some great efficiency marks, 5.4 yards per carry his final season. I mean, he is also someone that got like no usage whatsoever in the receiving game. He's someone that had 7 receptions in 4 games his last season in college. He only had 29 total receptions in a total of what looks like 30 games. So he's averaging less than a reception a game in his college career. And while, yes, he does look like an impressive size adjusted athlete, I think this team has to bring someone in, just like what we were talking about whenever you had the Cam Akers injury with Darrell Henderson, and I was saying to avoid Darrell Henderson in the 4th round. At this point, can Baltimore really go without bringing in another running back? And my God, guys, y'all know exactly how many leagues we have our guy Kareem Hunt in. Now, James Robinson would be the other guy I would bring up. Melvin Gordon would be another option. But now with James Robinson, with the Travis Etienne injury, James Robinson isn't going anywhere. So if we're pulling up running backs in the NFL right now, let's try to identify just what running backs could be on the move. I think Melvin Gordon is a prime candidate. You look at the contract, you look at the fact that they trade up to get Javonte Williams in the top 40 picks in this NFL draft. And also the Denver Broncos aren't necessarily viewing themselves as very strong contenders, or I bet they would have made just an over-the-moon offer to go out there and get Aaron Rodgers. Now, of course, that's mainly speculation. So in New England, I would be very surprised if New England makes any plays after trading away Sony Michel. And Green Bay, no, they're not moving on from A.J. Dillon. They could move on from A.J. Dillon if they kept Jamal Williams. But with Jamal Williams on the move, they're not going to go into the season with only Aaron Jones. Tampa, maybe Tampa, if they view their running back situation with Ronald Jones, Leonard Fournette, and Giovanni Bernard, maybe Tampa could look at Ronald Jones, the last year on his rookie contract, as an expendable asset. So I'm just going through, and this is the initial reaction, guys. So I know y'all can give me a ton of hate for this. I don't care how dumb we look on a live stream. We're going through right now, and we're trying to just come up with anything that we can to solve this situation, because to think about it like this, if the Baltimore Ravens were a team that weren't necessarily planning on being Super Bowl contenders this year, I think that they don't go out there and address the running back position. But this is the run heaviest team in the NFL that has Super Bowl aspirations. They have to go out there and try to find someone, right? If they're talking about signing someone off the streets, Adrian Peterson, Todd Gurley, they've already brought in Todd Gurley to do workouts. I mean, they're not necessarily looking at him as someone that's that impressive, considering they haven't decided to sign him just yet. So I guess Ronald Jones could be a small player intriguing. The Eagles, and they're not moving anybody in that situation. The Raiders, no, they can't move on from Josh Jacobs. I'd be very surprised if that happens. Seahawks, obviously, no. Denver, you're looking at it and saying Melvin Gordon, a prime candidate. And then Chicago, no. Montgomery staying there. Miami, nope. You have Gaskin staying. Minnesota, obviously, Dalvin staying. The Chiefs, Clyde Edwards-Helaire staying. The Bills also, they're keeping their guys. Cleveland, I guess maybe, just maybe, they could go through and they could move on from Kareem Hunt. And trust me, with how many leagues we have Kareem Hunt in, I would be all about that happening. I would be sitting here jumping up and down, but this is another team that wants to run the ball. And at the same time, they have Super Bowl aspirations. So they would have to have a fantastic offer from the Ravens. Keep in mind, like we addressed when we were talking Darrell Henderson, and knowing that the Rams were going to go out there and acquire someone, we said that these NFL teams, it's pennies on the dollar to trade for veteran running backs. We know running backs make a very small impact on a grander scale. What you really need to worry about is offensive line play, quarterback efficiency, and also play calling. So yes, they're not going to have to go out there and trade multiple first-round picks or anything for a Kareem Hunt. That's obvious. But still, I would just assume that Cleveland would be in a situation where they have all the incentive in the world to keep Kareem Hunt. So while I would love that personally for my selfish fantasy football reasons, I would be surprised if that actually happened. New York, we know they're keeping Saquon Barkley. New Orleans, they're keeping Alvin Kamara. You know what? They're probably going to go sign Latavius Murray. That's what's happening right now. They're signing Latavius Murray. This is clear, right? Is that not the clearest thing? I mean, you bring up the New Orleans Saints just cutting Latavius Murray for not being willing to go through and restructure his contract. I mean, Latavius Murray would fit exactly what they're looking to do in Baltimore, given the fact that we already addressed Lamar Jackson's not someone looking to check the ball down to the running back position. And instead, Lamar Jackson's just going to be increasing the overall running efficiency of this offense and how he affects the defensive linebackers and how they have to make the adjustments. So I think Latavius Murray, let's add on to the list right now, potential guys to come in. You got Melvin Gordon, Latavius Murray, and then from here, Washington's not bringing anybody over. Arizona, same thing with Arizona. Detroit, no, they just signed Jamal Williams. They're obviously keeping DeAndre Swift. Swift would not be a good fit whatsoever on that team. Indianapolis, obviously no. Houston, okay, David Johnson's another guy add to the list. Okay, so we got Latavius Murray, Melvin Gordon, David Johnson as clear potential trade candidates. Tennessee, obviously everybody's staying. Jacksonville, if it was before the Travis Etienne injury, I would include James Robinson as a potential guy on the move. But now at this point, Robinson's 100% locked in. The New York Jets, they don't have anybody. The Los Angeles Chargers, they're keeping Eckler. They need the depth. And then Cincinnati, they're keeping Mixon. Los Angeles, obviously, that's a no. Atlanta, that's a no. Dallas, that's a no. Pittsburgh, that's a no. Okay, so I think on the list that we officially have here, let me know in the live chat if you think I'm missing someone. But we have Melvin Gordon, we have Latavius Murray, David Johnson. If we're talking about realistic players, I can sit here and I can go, please give us Kareem Hunt to Baltimore. Please, 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 please. In reality, that's not going to happen. It kind of sucks. But let me see what y'all are saying in the live chat. And we can get some real money fantasy drafts going right after this. So y'all can see exactly where we actually have these guys like Tyson Williams, Le'Veon Bell. They're going to be going in real money fantasy drafts. I'm not going to give y'all time to go through and really think through this. Okay, so now Thomas says he just added a Gus Edwards thumbnail. So you know what I'm actually probably going to do right now is I'm going to read this live chat. Then I'll probably end this live stream and I'll start a new live stream with us being able to go through and get those real money drafts. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you drop a like on this live stream, because if we're ending this live stream and starting a new one right away, YouTube is going to kill this in the algorithm. So please make sure you drop that like. I'm not going to throw the drafts in this one as well. Let me change the thumbnail to this video to a Gus Edwards thumbnail. And then I can read the chat. We can try to determine what this means for Tyson Williams. We can try to determine what this means for Le'Veon Bell. And then we'll get those real money drafts going right after. But Sebastian coming out with the donation says, can you please rank Kenny Golladay, Antonio Brown, and Marquez Callaway in half PPR this week? I'm going with Antonio Brown 1, then Kenny Golladay 2, Marquez Callaway 3. Then beyond this, we have Fallon says the Ravens are practicing with moon shoes on. Shake my head. Yeah, what the hell is happening right now in Baltimore? What is happening in Baltimore? And Jayan says, common Devin Duvernay dub, best ability is availability. My man, I mean, you don't necessarily have to say that Gus Edwards going down helps Devin Duvernay. I know you want to say it for the brand, but it's not going to. Aaron says Naheem Hines. No, Naheem Hines isn't doing anything. Okay, so JM says we can add Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones to the list. I'll say because they signed Leonard Fournette to a one-year deal this offseason, I don't necessarily think that they're necessarily going to be going and looking to make that play. I'm just a noob, says Mark Ingram. The problem is they traded Mark Ingram off to get the contract off the books. I would be surprised if they turn around and trade back for Mark Ingram. I would think it's a lot more likely that they actually make a play for David Johnson if we're talking about a Houston running back compared to Mark Ingram. Okay. So, I mean, this is just brutal for everyone. We're going to end this live stream and we're going to start a new one. That way we can go through and that way we can look at exactly where all these players are going in drafts. And also in the new live stream, I'll be going through and I'll be talking just everything that you have from start sit. We'll be talking trades. We'll be talking draft targets. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and then refresh this page in just 30 seconds, because then we'll go through, we'll be answering start sit questions. I'll be answering trade questions and everything in between. I'm not going to throw on these drafts on the same live stream though, just because I do want to mix it up and I want to make sure that everybody has a chance to get into those drafts, because we're going to be live until kickoff today. I am so excited that we finally have football. So I'm going to end this live stream right now, and let's go and let's actually see in the other live stream where we have those drafts going, where Le'Veon Bell is getting drafted, where Tyson Williams is being drafted. And yeah, we're going to get those real answers in real money fantasy drafts in just 30 seconds. So make sure you subscribe and then go to the channel after this. And yeah, I'll see y'all in 30 seconds.